Do you have some ties here at all? Because I know that you've come by Milwaukee performing solo and with the bands.
Yeah. I used to live for about 2 or 3 years in just outside of Heartland, I believe.
Okay.
Which, I remember going to. I remember daycare in particular because I remember it's one of those memories that as a child you have these like really great memories. I loved Batman as a kid, and I remember they brought out like a Batman cake for me.
Oh, wow.
At the daycare. My mom I think she was working as a nurse at the time. But yeah, we were here, and I have very fond memories of going to, I think they're called the Domes.
Yes. We still have the Domes.
Okay.
They now have LED lighting on top that they will occasionally turn on during the summer and during the winter, too, for effect at night. But we're hoping that they stick around because they're a great place to visit.
Yeah. I have very fond memories of being there. In fact, a fan a few years ago, I knew about that part of my life and brought me a really cool like painting. It was just a little painting of the Domes, and it was just like, 'cause I hadn't seen them, and it totally brought back all these memories, and so that was cool. And then the other thing is, I remember going on a field trip once, and there was a cheese factory somewhere in the vicinity, and I remember having this cheese. I'd probably been like 5 years old, and it was the best cheese to this day. I don't know what kind of cheese it was, but you know how your brain will remember smells and tastes, and it's like if I could just find that cheese. I've been on a decades-long quest to find that cheese, but yeah, I've got great memories from our period here.
Well, I'm not sure if it was the cheese or it could be our palates when we're younger.
Oh, that's a good point.
Take on more interest, and then I guess as we age, they kind of dull out. So maybe even if you had the cheese today, you would go, "Oh, this isn't it," but it could have.
That's
been.
a good point. I noticed that. So I've got friends who are like real wine connoisseurs, and I'm the guy. You could put a super fancy bottle of wine in front of me, and the first sip, I don't really drink much anymore, but when I did have occasional wine, it was like, oh, that first sip, okay, I think I'm getting what the big deal is. But then after sip number 2, it's like it just kind of, you could give me a Bartles and James, and I wouldn't know the taste.
So in other words, you would never do very well with a taste testing for wine.
That would be horrible. I would be horrible.
So what we've learned so far is that Myles does like cheese, but he's not quite sure which one it is. He needs to go to the Domes again, and don't take him to wine tasting.
You got it.
Well, thanks so much for coming by, and your new album comes out
October 11th.
October 11th.
The Art of Letting Go.
Did anything happen that kind of caused that title to come up?
Oh, I think just as I get older, it's just learning to not be reactive, and just kind of letting things roll off your shoulders, just go with the flow. And,
go with the flow, yeah. It's either that or we're all growing up, and that's what we just know in our heads.
Exactly.
And then your tour here stateside kicks off in January.
Yeah, January. What is the official date of that? Looking over at my manager, Tim. He's right, but yeah, we'll be out January, February, and I'm looking forward to that.
I had a theme for Liquid Lunch that was about band patches. Did you have a particular one that you absolutely loved on your jean jacket?
Well, I always thought that look, Iron Maiden had such cool. All their merch was killer, but I also like Judas Priest a lot. So like the Screaming for Vengeance.
Oh yes,
the birds coming down. That was pretty awesome. There's so many. That was such a great period for all of that swag.
Right, exactly.
How about you? Did you have one?
I had Judas Priest.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my band growing up.
Yeah.
I know that there's some people that are in the Iron Maiden camp and some in the Judas Priest. I was just clear Judas Priest. It was tough because I did love Number of the Beast and I loved Peace of Mind, but Screaming for Vengeance when it starts out with the Hellion and I know,
Electric Eye, it's like it's so good,
so good. Well, we are looking forward to hearing your new album when it comes out, October 11th. And hey, anytime you want to come by, talk cheese, talk the Domes, bands, we're here for you.
Right on. Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming by.
My pleasure.